So I was actually in the middle of making a Yuta ranked video. Rika, do something! But I had to stop, because I honestly just was not enjoying myself on Yuta. I have not been a big fan of the new Yuta Rework in his base. I think his awakening is very well done, and for the small issues I have with it, they've stated outright that they're going to fix these issues later. So, awakening, good. Unfortunately, awakening's not in vain, so it doesn't actually matter. Almost every single move in base Yuta's kit is inconsistent in one way or the other. Severing Path, they're going to fix, I will always say this, but as it is right now, even if you land it, because it is not a true grab like old Severing was, you can land the first hit and you can be punished because it simply misses the rest of it. Also, I think that's the only barrage kind of move in the game that does not do the full barrage if you don't immediately hit someone. I think this is a real change. I think it should just do that even if you miss. And I'm pretty sure that actually makes it not able to clash with Kuro's thing. Resolute Slash, I'll be fair here. Resolute feels great. I really like the new changes, and they're going to be making it even more like unique later with some more changes for the single press variant. Outburst, I'm very much 50-50 on. I think it has some interesting uses. The parrying it's a cool idea. The explosions, pretty interesting for neutral gameplay. The issue I have with it is, first of all, it doesn't really fit into his kit that well, and I think the big reason why is it does not correctly bounce them if they're already valuable. And I think this is a very odd change. I think it should just bounce them. I don't think there's a real reason why it shouldn't, especially because his fourth move, Second Wind, is so reliant on the opponent being in the air that Outburst not doing this outright makes it incompatible with Second Wind. Like M1, M1, M1 up till Outburst, up doesn't work because Second Wind cannot hit grounded, which is another really big issue with the move. I have no idea why Second Wind cannot hit grounded opponents. It is kind of an odd choice, because first of all, it's a grab move. It should be able to hit grounded. And a really unfortunate thing for Second Wind pairing with it is that I think it'd be a really interesting gimmick if you could use Rika Haymaker into Second Wind and catch them. But it doesn't do that because Second Wind does not catch Ragdolls. But also, it has so many other limitations. It does not work point blank. The devs have outstate, like, they have said this is intended, that Second Wind will not hit in their face, and the reason is because they don't want it to be too good in a one-shades, and they should just give it stood up in that situation, instead of giving it this very wonky, bad-feeling system. As it is right now, it is not consistent enough to justify being as hard-to-hit as it is, and we don't know how good the hitbox buffs are going to actually affect it. It is a very inconsistent move, and an inconsistent move is not a fun move. It sucks to lose a match because your move simply did not do its job correctly. The Rika changes I'm also just not a huge fan of. I think they make him feel terrible, and the main reason is that they all share the same cooldown, and I am fine with Rika Smash and Rika Haymaker sharing the same cooldown. I think it makes sense that the attack, the ones that deal damage, should share a cooldown. I think it makes zero sense that Rika Launch also shares the cooldown, because it does not belong in the same category as them. It does not do the same job. But also because Rika Launch, in that case, is just objectively a worse decision. You should never use Rika Launch, because using Rika Smash and Rika Haymaker is just significantly better, because they give you damage. And it's also just awkward for Rika Launch, because there's nothing in his kit that needs Rika Launch. Because in old Yuta, it was basically the bread and butter was using Rika Launch paired with Veil Step, because Veil Step gave purpose to it, because it was such a long wind-up move, but also because it was in the air when you used it. You were 100% safe using it. Rika Launch does not have iframes, so all these in-your-face moves, if you try to use Rika Launch, you just get punished. Like, there's no reason you should ever use Rika Launch, because there's no situation that actually needs it. And the sad part is, as far as I understand, there's a hidden mechanic. Like, the devs have stated that, you do this or that, you have to look closely and you'll see Rika Launch is a hidden mechanic, but they didn't actually state what it was. And so nobody actually knows the purpose of using Rika Feint, and nobody wants to actually bother using it because Rika Launch is objectively worse than just getting the guaranteed damage from using Rika Smash or Rika Haymaker. Rika Haymaker's in an awkward spot because I don't know why it still has the old tracking if it can't go through block. Because it makes sense before because you can just dodge it, but right now it doesn't make sense because you can just dodge it or you can block it. Because it does not actually, it's completely green now and it's fully blockable. It's just such an awkward kit. I wish he flowed better. Because that's the biggest advantage old Yuta had, was that his kit flowed. He felt so good to go into one move, into the next, And even when it came to Rika Launch, it felt so good using Veil Step into it because Veil Step had a real purpose though. It was really good at evasive baiting, and it felt good to be safe. Severing Path would have a point to using Rika Launch if it did the full, combo, because I'm missing, I better feint it and actually be safe. It doesn't do that, so there's no reason to ever use Rika Launch. So it is just 100% useless. Respectfully. I fucking hate Second Wind, I can't even lie. Gosh!